guys, Jeff Discher, real estate broker with the Discher Group at Douglas Elliman. And today I want to talk about something that is useful, especially in a market like today where we have a lot of sellers trying to sell their homes to buy new ones. We have downsizing, upsizing, a lot of moving around. People are taking advantage of low interest rates and this market. And what we're finding is trying to sell your home and buy a home together at the same time. It's rough, it's tough, and we're seeing a lot of people that are staying in hotels, sleeping out of their cars, sleeping out of their U-Hauls, and there is a way to prevent that as long as both parties are on board, and that is an interim occupancy. So what is an interim occupancy? Basically, it is a term or a form that you would add to the contract which would allow the buyer of your property to move in during escrow without closing. So what does that mean? Say you have a buyer that wants to buy a house, they buy an offer on a property, they get into escrow, you have a 30-day escrow assuming, which is standard, and say you're 15 days in, we have to assume the home is either vacant or the seller will be moving out early, which allows the new buyer to move in. But say that does happen. Say you have a seller that has a vacant property, tenant just moved out, they're trying to sell it, it's vacant. You have a buyer who is selling their property or their lease ends in the middle of escrow and they need a place to stay. So as opposed to putting them out in the street, you can do this interim occupancy. You allow that buyer to move in. Again, filling out the proper paperwork also covers you. You want to make sure you got the proper insurance in place because you got to remember if that deal does fall apart for any reason, now you have a tenant in place and you don't want to go to the eviction process down that road. It's ugly, it's long, and it's costly. So we want to make sure that we cover all bases and make sure that it's a safe process that we are putting on that contract. And again, it takes an experienced agent to do that. You need to know how to manage that process, how to manage and fill out that paperwork properly so your seller and buyer are both covered. So again, interim occupancy, it's a great tool to use in this market, more or less in any market where you have a buyer that needs to get into the property before the escrow closes. If you have any other questions on that process, let me know. Jeff Discher, broker. Find me and follow me on all social media, including Instagram, which is I Sell Real Estate, my handle, Facebook, Jeff Discher, and YouTube, Jeff Discher. Other than that, see you guys soon.